book likes us very much, people.
Yes.
So we were in the middle of talking about motivation and why people do things that are good for them. And Nancy told us that it had pixelated. So we turned it off and turned it back on. I don't know if that's going to help. I don't know what causes the pixelation. I'm going to have to do some research on that. So that's super frustrating to me, and I apologize. I'm very sorry.
Yep.
It makes me sad. But anyway, well, I'm going to continue to cut almonds, which means I have to look at the cutting board because you guys don't want me to cut my fingers. And
I don't want her to cut her fingers.
That would be bad.
Not part of the schedule today.
So I'm going to not look at you, and I apologize for that. But anyway, I was trying to talk about why humans don't do things that are good for them, why we're not motivated to do things like exercise and eat healthy and fast. I know you guys, some of you really hate fasting, but what I was reading yesterday is that human beings are designed for instant pleasure, instant gratification.
Yeah,
and you know, the millennials get a bad rap because they get called the instant gratification generation. But the reality is all of us do it. And working out and eating healthy and fasting, it doesn't have instant gratification at all. In fact, in the short term, it's challenging.
Right.
But you know what? We live a lot longer than humans used to live on the Serengeti. You know, so we have to be able to keep these bodies running more effectively, which means we have to be motivated to do things that aren't instantly gratifying, which is frustrating. So talk to me a little bit about why do you think that some people, such as you and I, do a good job of doing things that have delayed gratification? Do you have an opinion?
I mean, I want to say the cliche answer is because we have the long view. I don't think that's accurate. I think there are certain groups of people that are self-motivating, and I think there's some of that other need to be motivated. I've worked out for the better part of almost 40 years now. That's self-motivating, I think. I look forward to it, and I'm not happy unless I'm actually working out on a regular basis. People that have not worked out and later in life decide that they want to start getting in shape and start working out, they need motivation. And I think they need continuous motivation. So what does that look like? And I think that's a different journey for every person.
And I think you can get that motivation from an outside source. I know, you know, I have clients in my business that I help motivate to keep them motivated for the work that they have to do in their business, because that can be challenging as well. Right. What's Howard asking us? You two have to see the prize. Yeah, so that's true. And I do think that accountability, some people need external accountability, and having a coach can help you with that. And if you're talking about your health and wellness, that could be, you know, someone who's into nutrition or someone who is a certified trainer. Or knows something about training. Go ahead.
I will say this about certified trainers, and I know this is probably going to get some pushback, but if your certified trainer is not in better shape than you are, I don't know if that's your best certified trainer that you should go with. That's just the rule. I mean, I've come from a world where all the certified trainers were basically bodybuilders, and they all looked like they were in shape. I understand that's not, I mean, you can get certified as a certified trainer. There's actually schools, colleges now that teach certified training. However, you know, I'm a big believer in, I want somebody who practices what they preach. So that's my own personal opinion. You know, folks may have different opinions.
Well, and it's funny because the gym where we go, both Russ and I have had people come up and ask us if we're trainers, right, because we look more like trainers than the trainers do. So, you know what? Having someone is better than having no one.
Right.
If you need a trainer, if you need someone, and you know, can you go to someone like Russ and I who have 25 years experience? We have close to 50 years experience working out between us. That's a little bit scary, actually.
Yeah. Actually,
yes.
more like 70 years, but who's counting? Well, I mean, I just said I have almost 40, so does mean you have what, 6?
No, I have like 20.
All right.
So you can get someone like us who has a lot of experience but doesn't have certifications, or you can get someone who's certified. Oh, Robert has lots to say. Robert always has lots to say. Okay. I believe lack of education contributes to it also, along with no instant gratification. It's too much work to actually learn. Yes, I agree with that.
That's true.
What it means to eat better and fast food across the street. You know what, Robert? That's a valid point. And that's why having a trainer can be helpful, or having a nutritionist, or having someone like Russ and I who have the knowledge and who are geeky about it.
Yeah.
The reality is we are geeks about this stuff, and I don't even know why.
Yeah.
We just love it.
Yeah.
And so also the other thing I wanted to point out about personal trainers, and I know I've made this point, is that in today's market, personal trainers like give you workouts, but they don't explain them, and they don't get you to the point where you can do it on your own.
Right.
They hide that information because, you know, it's their livelihood. That's not my style. My goal, if I'm helping somebody with their workouts or what they're eating, my goal is for you to go off, go do your thing. Good luck. Come back if you have questions. I don't want to have people who are dependent on me to be healthy. I don't think that's fair. I don't. That's,
yes,
that's
I mean, if you're a crutch, then.
Yeah, I don't want to be a crutch. I want to be support.
So if it's a decision that somebody's making because they like the motivation and they like the person walking them through the routines, that's fine. That's a different situation. But if you're doing it because you actually are not getting the ability, you're not given the ability to learn the exercises, you kind of run through them, then that's not fair. And it's like something that I've always taught when I was a personal trainer is that whenever I tell somebody to do an exercise, I always explain to them the muscle groups that we're working, and I try to get them to actually feel that muscle group. I think that's a big part of training. So if you're doing chest, and depending on what you're doing, I mean, sometimes you're doing inner chest, sometimes you're doing your pectorals, you know, lower chest, upper chest. That's the area you want to concentrate on, and the sooner you get them to start thinking about that, the more that their body will start actually understanding it, and their exercises will be, you know, more proficient. Efficient. Thank you.
And I think that's a really good point, is that people don't know where to start. They don't know how to start. And the learning curve can be really, really steep, especially if you don't love it. So, you know, maybe that's what we're trying to do here. I don't really know why we're doing these videos. People seem to like them. We enjoy doing them, so we're doing them. And I hope that it's creating some knowledge for you guys as far as eating and fasting and exercise go. But I know we've been talking about, do we start taking our phones into the gym and taking videos of us doing exercises and create a website where those are available and say, this is what this exercise does, this is how you do it. You know, would that be motivating? Would it be helpful for people? Would it give them a place to start? And I know I have a client now who's very interested in having me come and take a look at the pantry and say what my opinions are. I'm not a certified nutritionist. I don't pretend to be. I don't even play one on TV. And my doctoral degree is not in this stuff. Now, if you need help with your motivation, and if you need help with feeling like I'm not good enough, I can't bother, I feel like a failure, that stuff, yes, that's my expertise. That I can help you with. And I do hear a lot of personal trainers who are playing doorknob psychologists when they're helping people work out. So maybe I'm at least as qualified as they are, since I have so many years experience. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like.
And on the other side of the coin is my experience, as we mentioned before, is I used to own a health club. I was a competitive bodybuilder for 6 years. I got pretty high up in the ranks of that. I was a personal trainer or a trainer for a professional bodybuilder on a professional tour. I've trained other athletes. And I've been doing this for, like I said, close to 40 years. So I've got a background. However, you know, we'll always say that what we're going to recommend to people is the stuff that we do and what works for us.
And there are other options.
Right. And we always recommend that, as every exercise program you'll ever see will tell you, before beginning any exercise routine or diet change, always ask your medical professionals.
Definitely. So I do feel like we have a lot of knowledge to offer, and I do feel like we can help with the motivation. And, you know, maybe we need to create a Facebook group where people have the opportunity to, you know, engage and say, this is what I'm trying to do. And I think that's another thing too, is a lot of people don't spend the time to figure out, what is my goal? What am I trying to accomplish with this? Because anything, whether it's changing your diet, starting to exercise, or doing fasting, you do it for different reasons. So I work out, when I lift weights, I do it because I want my muscles to have some tone. I want them to be in nice shape, and I want to stay strong. And of course, the side benefit of having strong bones, because the osteoporosis and that kind of thing, obviously lifting weights does that. So that for me is important. I also want to be able to walk up flights of stairs without being out of breath.
When you're 90 years old.
Well,
I mean, that's the key, right? I mean, I've always said it's not how long you live, it's how well you live. So You know,
I don't want to be dying for the last 20 years of my life.
exactly, which the medical profession is really good at doing.
They're
Keeping
really
you
good at
alive.
keeping you half dead.
Yes, for long periods of time. So
Because that's how they make money.
yeah,
I mean, not that it's not awesome.
yes,
It's awesome. But so what is your motivation? Why do you lift weights?
I just said it because my goal has always been that I don't know how long I'm going to live. Nobody does. But as long as I am living, I want to be able to walk up flights of stairs. I want to be able to take care of myself. You know, I like the woodwork. I want to be able to continue to do that well into my senior years. So that's my goal, is to live a quality life for as long as I can. That's what motivates me to get up every morning, go to the gym, eat healthy. And like I said, we're going to Ted's today. We're going to have happy hour. So this is not a, you know, straight line. You cannot deviate.
Robert just made the point, and I skimmed it, Robert, so you'll forgive me if I don't get it all completely right. But he's saying that telling people what you can't eat and what you can't do is not motivating.
No,
it's really hard.
no, absolutely.
And instead, being able to say this is what you can eat and this is what you can do. And that's a really good point. And, you know, I'll share this. When I met Russ, I told him, I said, I don't cook, I don't clean, and I don't have babies. And
I said, score.
he actually said, that's okay, I cook, we can hire someone to clean, and I don't want babies. So I was like, sweet, that works, that's great. But what I've discovered is what I didn't like about cooking was having to have that answer every single night of what's for dinner, having to have that plan. And that doesn't work for me. I don't want to sit in the kitchen and have to make a meal. Excuse me, almond in my throat.
Almonds will do that.
Every night. But what I've found with this whole food plant-based stuff is that I go on these websites and I find recipes and I'm like, oh, this looks like fun. Let me try that. Yeah. And I try it, and some of them are great and they work, and some of them are not great and they don't work. We eat them anyway. Yeah. But and I have a client that I encouraged. I said, hey, here's a whole bunch of websites that have recipes on them.
Go get some water, love.
My water's over there. But I said, go and find food that looks interesting. Look at the recipes that looks interesting, and let's try it. And what I've determined is I'm actually a really good cook, and it's fun to try new things and be able to say to people, here, eat this, try that. And so, you know. So
now it's gotten to where I say, I'm not cooking. I'll clean a little, but I'm not having babies.
No, there'll be no babies. It's not happening. So I think the bottom line is that motivation comes from understanding the long-term game, not looking for the short-term goal or the short-term gain, and understanding where to start. You know, that helps, obviously. If you don't know where to start, it's overwhelming. I know that was true for me when I started my business. It was really overwhelming because I had no idea how to run a business. Sometimes I feel like I still don't. And then making it fun, whether that means cooking with friends or, you know, maybe you have a coach or you have someone that helps you stay accountable. I think all of it is pieces to being motivated to do things that are good for you. And I would love to hear your feedback about, you know, why aren't you motivated? Or maybe you feel motivated, but you don't actually do it. Right. So what does that mean?
What's stopping you?
What's stopping you? What's the holdback from you? So if you want to send me a direct message or an email, you know,
or post a question. That's fine too.
Post a question here. Yeah. I always go back to our videos and respond to comments after we get done being live. So I apologize that our last video decided to pixelate. If you want to hear about our workout and, you know, our not so great workouts today, neither one of us had a great workout today, and what's in my smoothie, that's in the video. We stopped it and started over. Right. And this one has, you know, this conversation. And I'm very excited to hear what you guys think. If you feel like it would be helpful if we created a website that had more details about what we eat every day, more details about our fasting, more details about our working out, if that would be something that would be useful to you. And also, I wanted to say, I haven't been saying this, but if you find these videos useful, I make them public so that they're shareable. Share them. You know, this knowledge is definitely stuff I want to get out there.
Right. I think our main goal when we started doing this was to see if we could just help people figure it out. So with that, I'll also say that if you have products that are supposed to be good for you and you'd like us to take a look at them, we will give you our opinion. Again, this is our opinion. This is not scientific fact. But we will look at them and we'll say what our thoughts are on them. If you have questions about working out, basically if you have questions about anything that we're talking about, post them, send them a private message, Robin.
Yeah, don't private message Russ. He
I
won't be there
don't,
for weeks.
yeah, I'm not hopping on there as quickly as she does. So, yeah, anything like that, we're happy to, anything that we can do to help, to offer our opinion, we were willing to do that.
Absolutely. So we're going to go and eat breakfast. Again, we're going to be at Ted's Happy Hour tonight. So if you guys are around in the vicinity and you'd like to stop by and say hi, that's where we'll be. I'm not sure exactly what time we'll get there, but happy hour is from 4 to 6:30. And a friend of mine at the gym today said, "What are you going to have?" And I said, "Probably asparagus." And she punched me in the arm because she said that's not happy hour.
That's not happy hour. I think I'm having a 3-ounce burger. That's right. That's
Yeah.
what I said.
And you know what? That's the reality. And I think that's part of what makes this work for us is we're
Right.
not super, super strict and
Exactly.
ridiculous about it.
Exactly.
So we appreciate you guys showing up. Thank you for putting up with our technical drama. I'm not sure how to fix that, so I'm going to have to do some
We'll do
research.
some research. Yeah.
Maybe I need to use we're using my older computer because I can leave it downstairs. Maybe I need to not be lazy and schlep my good one up and down the stairs. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
If you have ideas about pixelating and why it happens, let me know.
Yeah, please share.
So
With that, we'd like to say, remember to eat food, not too much, mostly plants.
Have
See
a
you
great
later,
weekend,
folks.
guys. Oh, she said, what do you need to fix? Our screen pixelates.
Yeah, sometimes our videos will pixelate. We don't know it because it looks good on our side. And then we have somebody on the other side saying your video is pixelating.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Thanks.